5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring them out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective.
It's the biggest boss
From business, entertainment, love, and life,
Had to find my inner power.
to fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you. Check it out. You're now rocking with the best.
God damn it. I'm back. I'm mad. This motherfucking Wi-Fi shit. You pay all this money for it and you plug into it and the shit is acting. I want my fucking money back. This is some bullshit. Motherfucker, you want to rob me? Have a gun. Welcome. Welcome once again to the Romello Marcellus Show. I'm he and he is me. And yeah, I'm feeling some kind of way, goddammit, because y'all being cheated and this is some bullshit. If y'all take y'all time out to come spend time with me on this goddamn show, everything should be running and up and proper. Even if you put it on your Obama phone or your fucking 4K 70-inch TV, this shit should run properly. Yeah. Good evening. I'm back, damn it. Now that we got the technical difficulties out the way and the fucking Wi-Fi works better, let's go and get into this shit. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Throw some thumbs up. I'm in here. Y'all in here? We here? Yeah, let me know if you're in here. I'm here, damn it. Welcome. Welcome, goddamn it. Welcome. I'm here, damn it. Welcome. Welcome to the Romello Marcellus Show. I'm he and he is me. Like I said, man, you know, not that you're paying for it, but goddamn it, if you're taking your time out, you're paying for it, you should get what you paid for. Now, I apologize for the technical difficulties, and I hope you can see me clearly and hear me clearly, because I can sure enough see y'all as y'all logging in. You know, we listening to this music. We're going to vibe out as people continue to come in the room. We got Ebony Lofton in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got MSM S08 joined the room. Welcome from New Jersey. Got Paris K. Styles in the room. We got Keisha Loves in the room. Troy and the Black Vegan in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All you wonderful, wonderful people. You chose to be anywhere, but you chose to be here tonight with us. Once again, like I said, this is not my platform. This is our platform. And if you like what we're talking about, man, please, please, please. This is interactive. Hey, the dream work when we work. Share this topic. Share the platform, man. Let's broaden the conversation. Everybody has some positive intellectual conversation. Even the most hood folks can give you some grains of wisdom, man, that you can apply to your life. What we were talking about earlier, man, is everybody's story. Everybody has a story. And I read a few quatrains from someone else's story. And yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting how someone from their youth can be influenced in the directions that they choose as adults, so young, making bad decisions, good decisions as they thought. Because the decisions prospered them in the long run, it ended up costing them everything. Now, we've all been in those kind of decisions or those crossroads that we've had to make those decisions to either survive or what we thought to survive or not to have those things based on short-term goals. So, you know, a lot of times, man, we go through lives, we meet people and incorporate those players into our stories. Life is a movie. You live in it. You got soundtracks, you got places, things, people that if you were ever had to sit somewhere and be convalesced or incarcerated or away from your loved ones, your memories would be some of the things that would sustain you through your hard times. Everybody has a story. your story. Everybody's story is worthy to tell someone. Everybody's story in some way, shape, or form can and will inspire someone. It's inspiration. Okay. One thing's for certain and two things for sure. Someone's always watching you. You just don't know who they are. Even those that bless us. You might be sitting somewhere tomorrow and shit, you might get a $10,000 blessing. In this day and age, $10,000 is not a lot of money. Well, in my book, but yeah, just because someone sees you attempting to do something and they really want to see you achieve it, and they've done their homework on you and know what it may take for you to acquire the things that you need to proceed. Prime example. Another decision that we make is in relationships. A lot of times we make the bad relationship decisions based on what we feel about our needs at the moment. Okay. Last night we had a heated conversation, or we had some conversation that was in depth with some, some interesting people that was on the platform and off the platform about decisions of body count. Do those things matter? It is a part of your story, but how often do you get back to yourself and the proper decisions that you make? I look at life like this. There's the what happened and the why it happened. Usually the why it happened is some individual made a decision to do something, and that thing caused the what happened. The decision is to why it happened. But what drove those decisions? Okay. Now, my decision to do this show was based on a friend of a family member. I ain't kicking no names, but I'm going to honestly say this. At the end of the day, this joker made 29 million taxable dollars last year. Damn, I'm in the wrong business. I like to do this kind of thing when it comes to people. I like to have shows to do this. This is the decision that I made. But see, there's other decisions and choices that involve this thing. I can't vet you guys because this is an open space. So whoever comes on here and comments and says what they say, hey, it's what you do. I'm one that's going to make sure that my yays are my yays and my nays are my nays. And if I fuck up, I'll let you know I fucked up and make it right. So with that said and done, as this thing grows, you better believe I'm going to have trollers on here. I'm going to have a whole bunch of shit going on. Am I going to see it all? No. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to incorporate moderators of the decision. Now, the decision who I actually say, hey, you, or you, that could be a bad decision for me, or it could be a good decision. But it's just that. And when you're dealing with open forums like this, you expose some things about people and about yourself. But I will say this. Anything I say to you guys on this platform is merely an opinion. It's my opinion and I'm entitled to it, just like you are. Don't take it personal, because this is a business for me. I'm talking about the business of us getting better, because we, as people of color, black folk, we sick, we hurt. So we need some healing. And yeah, look, someone said, yeah, you need everyone, including the pessimist and the overthinker. They're great in their own way. Okay. So everyone's welcome. I may offend some people, and I don't give a shit. If you're that hurt over what I'm saying to you, then it's not my problem, it's yours. And you need to seek some counseling. Someone said, I have been one that had a very rough upbringing, which for a long time I allowed to impact me as an adult. And I've used the method of self-sabotage to keep me from being happy because I was afraid to be. I had to ask myself if that was what I wanted to live my life like every day. And I made a conscious decision not to walk in that pity anymore. Healing is a conscious decision to want to grow up and out. I must say it's something that many avoid because many want the challenge of actually addressing what? You kind of cut that off. Can you further elaborate? But I get it. We have all had some sort of, turmoil in our past. It's just what it is. It's still about the decisions that we make, for ourselves. Everyone has a story. Even in the midst of your hurt, man, your story is valuable. It creates value in you. Someone said, yes, they are. They will allow you to see it from a different point of view, from a different set of lenses. And that's all this is. Even this platform, it's all it is. Okay? So, with that said and done, I have a story to tell. I have a story to tell that for many years I moved in a certain way that no one knew, not even my family. Not until the people came to see me. And when the people come see you, they expose you for everything that, they expose your motherfucking ass. Let's just put it that way. Lost everything. Everything that meant something. Fuck things, man. When someone can tell you that we're going to take your life, what you thought was your life, and put you in a box and put you in a position where you are vaguely remembered. And the only thing you're going to have to hold on to is your memories. It's a fucked up feeling. I was, while in this chasm of things that I was going through, I heard Tony Evans is his name. And he described a vision of what someone told him hell was, or their hell was, or purgatory, so to speak. And he said that he was on a shore and there was fire. And he couldn't get off this shore, wherever they were, one way or the other. But the hell he went through was the fact that he could see his life that he left. He could see his family members, his loved ones. He could see all the things he left behind. And he could see them going through the things that they were going through without him. And it was in real time. He could see his children going through life. He could see his wife going through things that she wished that he were there going through. But it was nothing he could do. They couldn't hear him, shout to them, nothing. He couldn't get to them to save them from the abuses or atrocities they went through, nothing. And all he could do was pray for them. That's a terrible feeling. Terrible, terrible feeling. Let's just say this, man. a lot of things that happen to us we wish happened when we were younger or would happen when we were younger. The older you get, the harder it is to change the outcome because the time is not on your side. The time is fleeting. You know, when you crease 40, you blink an eye and you 60. What the fuck have you done? How many people have you touched? How much have you squandered? You know, it's messed up to be in the fourth quarter of your life and mismanaged your shit. Mismanaged your shit to the point where people are willing to shove you in a corner in a wheelchair and forget about you. You've devalued yourself for years, in and out of relationships. Your debauchery has put you in a position where you are tainted in spirit. You're tainted in your physical nature. You've used and abused yourself as others have used and abused you. And through this usury, you have been totally absent from those who truly love you unconditionally. So when you need them, do they show up for you? Yeah, sometimes they do. But it's a constant reminder of how much your punk ass wasn't there for them. Noah London's joined the room. Welcome, brother. Welcome, welcome. Hey, you know, I am a straight shooter. I play fair all the way across the board. I do believe that there are imperfections in all of us, but I seek to see the good and the potential in individuals. Now, I don't do a lot of rewarding of bad behavior based on your decisions to do fucked up shit. But if I see you trying, I'll give you my last. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Some things can only happen in time. This is what someone's saying. You can leave it all behind and make a commitment to change the future. Yeah, but I'll tell you something. For me, you know, everybody has different vices. I like getting money. And I like keeping some things to myself. The mystique of it all, let me put it to you like this. The less access people have to you, the more value you have. You know, you got the loud talker. If I come in the room, everybody knows and sees them because this is who they are. They don't have any value. They're an empty trash can with a rock in it. Okay? But the individuals that allow their works to perpetuate who they are and that thing exudes them, this is what gives them value because they're not readily accessible to everyone. And the same thing is applicable in your relationships. Ladies, last night I had a conversation and was having conversations with some individuals where they were talking about body counts. Men and women, to let people into your space without intention, it diminishes your value. But the same thing is in business too. You can't let people in your back office. They become familiar with you. To garner respect, a lot of times you have to keep motherfuckers arm distance. Everybody's not worthy based on their stories, and the decisions that they've made to build or to create their stories are not worthy to be in your back office or in your inner sanctum. You can love them dearly, but they have not passed your litmus test. So they can't grab the goblet to drink from the Holy Grail and say, I'm going to sit at your motherfucking table, King Arthur. You feel me? Yeah, supply and demand. Someone said, this is the truth. I learned this the hard way. You know, think about it. How many times have people proved you, I'm not going to say right, proved you wrong? And I'm saying this in good and bad scenarios, you know, because a lot of times we go into situations where we've already judged someone and the individuals show us that our judgment was wrong because they did the complete opposite. But then there are those who we've saw presented to us by others one way and has shown us something else, that they were the opposite of what others are saying. This is another stint as to how stories, everybody's story, everybody has a story. Even the motherfuckers that's telling you the story about the individuals you deal with, they have a story. Their story might be that they hate you, but they hate you enough that they don't want to see you happy, even in the midst of your relationship. So they'll tell you some funky ass shit about an individual who has a story, and that story may be about their past, but they're not that individual today. This is the growth piece. Just because somebody was a robber or scammer or drug dealer or drunkard or whatever, or prostitute, doesn't mean that that's who they are today. You got to see their growth. How did they present themselves to you? You know? These are the questions that we should ask about other stories that we deal with. One thing I do know is that when you're walking right, the story that you don't know about individuals, it'll show up for you. You don't even have to go looking for it. It'll come to you. It'll come to you just like this beer is coming to me, and it's going to purify you like what Prince say, the waters of Lake Minnetonka. You've immersed yourself. Yeah. Now, last night on the show, I know I've offended some folks about my conduct and the things that I said on the show itself, but I don't give a shit. I'm gonna give you the straight up show enough at every turn. I can't do nothing but that. Someone said, I always watch people who speak bad on others, especially to those who know nothing about the person. It's better to say we don't vibe, but you may see different. Got that? Someone said, that's why you meet people where they are and believe them when they show you who they are. Well, is it always about that? The biggest part of the story is you. It's not them. It's you. You made the decision to deal on every level, whether it's business or personal. It's you. Your decision. The question is, why the fuck are you there? What made me extend myself to this individual? What was it about the individual? And even in the extension, if it's nothing long term, then what's the exit strategy? Because if you lie to yourself, you most definitely going to lie to the individual that you're with. So the question is, how long are you going to do that dance? That's what the question is. How long are you willing to do that dance? Yes, but making a decision based on the information I have at the time. Okay. Well, here's the thing. The information is yours. What was your initial desire? Good evening. Good evening. Hang on, they're chiming in. Good evening. Welcome to the show. You there? We'll give them a second. It's their Wi-Fi. Let's see if I can get them back. Sometimes that happens. It just happened to me. What's good, champ? Wood Brash is in the room. Welcome, welcome. For the guests that's coming in, Ebony, you have to add your mics and your devices to the stream. Okay, so go in and actually re-add your mics and your device. Yeah, if you're just doing the discussion tonight, the topic is everyone has a story. A lot of times we mismanage our lives with the decisions that we make, which actually gives us the outcomes when we lose players and other people's stories, whether it's beneficial or hurtful. Either way, your story is still valuable to those that are coming along, even though you suffered some things. We've all suffered some things, losses, gains, hurts, a lot. So those are the question, or this is the topic we're discussing this evening, if you're just joining. I had a few people that was on, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's raining or storming where they are, and the Wi-Fi is kind of bad. But yeah, they were there in the hole, so please bear with me. But welcome to the Romello Marcellus Show. You could have been anywhere tonight, but you chose to be here with me. But back to address the conversation from last night, man. We were talking about body counts, but at the same time, it's decisions and choices that were made. And with that said and done, the decisions and choices that were made by people, you know, it's like, damn, what do you do? What do you do? 1 second. If you're just joining the room, once again, the topic is everyone has a story. I don't want to lose the momentum. We were talking, but I'm just dealing with some technical stuff here as well. Just trying to maneuver. All right. Now, I'm going to incorporate some new rules, right? There's etiquette here in how I'm addressed or how I address people. And if you get out of line on here, I'm putting your punk ass on blast. I'm not deleting. I'm not blocking nobody. I ain't doing it. I've never been one to duck no wreck, and I ain't doing it. So if you come in here, I'm gonna expose you to the folks in the room. I'm gonna put your punk ass right on blast. Conduct yourself like ladies and gentlemen, and we won't have any problems. Don't run no personal files, no personal interest, no none of that shit here. All right? Keep this shit as respectful as possible. Don't disrespect me and mine, and we won't have no issues out of none of y'all. I'll meet your punk ass in a phone booth. All right? Men and women, all of you. Now, back to this. Everybody got a story. I got a story too. Someone said, I think when people start wanting quality, they just don't want a body. Hey, you know what? Most people like the body, but they're not honest about the body and what they want when it comes to the body. 1 second, please. Got someone joining. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Everyone has a story. What's yours, goddamn? Where's the value in you? Have you diminished yourself in any way? Have you mismanaged yourself? And if so, what changes have you made? And do you still believe that you're an inspiration to those that are coming behind you?
Well, my story is, single mother, divorced, 3 kids, had a whole lot of learning, introspection, and, self-discovery. I had to make mistakes in life, and I was glad that I made them when I made them. And just for me, being diligent. So that's what I was saying about, you make decisions, you meet people where they are. Everybody doesn't have, like you said, doesn't have the same story. Everybody is not willing to change, though they may need to. But if I encounter someone who I recognize is broken or lacks a certain level of intelligence or etiquette, decorum, and how they treat me, then they no longer are, like you said, have access to my time. So, yeah, I believe it's about me, but I also believe, sometimes you just pray for people and you give them whatever little tidbit. It could be money, it could be gifts, it could be, no longer having access to you. That could still be a blessing to people sometimes. So, I think that's what having a story is.
Is it now? Inspiration,
realness, and just being able to make a decision with what you know. Yeah.
Awesome. So what advice would you give to someone that has made some of the mistakes that you've made in mismanagement? You know what I'm saying? It could be mismanagement of your box, mismanagement of your time, money, anything.
Well, the first thing is the only constant that we know in the world is change, right? So you can't say, well, I've been doing it this way for so long. Everything has to change at some point. At one point I bought my first house, lost my mind, and I had like 11 credit cards. Credit was just on point. And I thought that was what I needed. I thought that was important. That was a sign of my greatness. And I knew better, just didn't do better. But then I also recognized that whatever information I had at the time clearly wasn't working. So I, read more about finance, started doing things differently, using cash only. I literally, and I'm still doing it to this day, I budget certain things and I spend only cash, put it in an envelope and put it in my wallet. And that's all I
Mhm.
do. That took a lot of practice. That took a lot of doing. So it starts with willingness though.
Yeah. Kind
If
of
you're
the
not,
same thing I was taught.
yeah, yeah,
You don't spend you regardless of what you're making, you don't pay yourself any more than 25% of what you make. If you spend anything more than that, you don't have anything.
yeah,
And always pay
absolutely.
yourself.
Always
Even
pay
if you
yourself. Yep.
yep, if somebody ain't gonna get paid. If my bills extend my 25%, somebody's not gonna get paid because I got to
Yep.
get paid.
That's it. That's it. And it is about being patient. I mean, I enjoy eating out. I enjoy eating good food. I enjoy the ambiance of a different restaurant. I enjoy the taste of a nice wine. But I spent 18 months brown bagging it straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And I never, ever thought I could ever do that. But my determination was much more important than, what I wanted at the time. I heard something. One of the guys that I listened to was Dave Ramsey, and I might have mentioned that on your show before. And he has this saying where he says something, roughly from the Bible, where he says, discipline may seem unpleasant at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it reaps a harvest of righteousness.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: since you've learned to manage your money and your finance, what about your box, your personal life,
Yeah.
your body count,
Yeah. I
your
was
extension of energies?
all of that and then some. So the interesting thing is, I, as a single mother with 3 kids, I honestly wasn't looking for a father for my children or looking for a man to be in my home.
Why
I
not?
just because I didn't feel like I needed it and I didn't want it. I'm just out of a broken marriage. I had emotional issues. My father was in my life, but my parents were divorced. There was a lot of, 2.5 years of some good therapy,
Mhm.
helped me come to terms with some experiences I've had, but I still like to get my toes curled every now and again. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the people in my space and time, at that time, they only served a certain purpose.
They were maintenance men. They were tools,
Yes, sir.
like
Yes,
a
sir.
drill or a wrench.
That's right. That's right. I put in a service order and it gets taken care of. And I remember I don't know if you remember when Michael Bazin first came out, but he was very, I wouldn't say necessarily deep, but he talked about topics, on a level that I thought was, it invoked thought, the same that you do on this show.
Someone
And
said toys for them. Sorry.
yeah, I've discovered the toys later on. I was
Yeah.
in a different place physically,
But
so that
but
didn't
doesn't
work.
that but isn't that a mismanagement of your box as well? Because you're desensitizing yourself, right? I mean,
Not
too much use.
necessarily. No, everybody has a different sense of pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
guess you love yourself. Gotta love yourself more, I guess. I mean, if you pleasure in yourself.
Oh,
Wow.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But at the end of the
You have a
day, the point is that it served a purpose then. But what I was saying was I would listen to Michael Bays and I would hear these women 40 something saying they're celibate, and I thought
Mhm.
there's no fucking way, absolutely not. How, why would you do that to yourself? And when I passed 40, sure enough,
Let me say something to you.
it changed.
Honestly, I don't mean to be this, and I'm not a hater. I'm a donator,
Okay.
goddammit.
Okay.
But he's not a good reference when it comes to sound advice or judgment. He's an
Fair
opportunist,
enough.
and
Fair
he's
enough.
playing to the approval of you all as women and females so that he can garner listeners or whatever, or
Fair
to come to his shindigs.
Fair enough.
Fuck him.
I just literally recall on that show
Mm-hmm.
Hearing a woman say she's in her mid 40s and she's been celibate for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand why anyone would do that, you know. But
Well,
as I got
who's she waiting
older,
on?
I understood though.
Okay.
I understood that the people that, some that were around in my circle didn't earn my goodies because my standards changed, my needs changed, my children are grown. I don't need my toes curled. I don't even need to, you know, break
Oh,
myself
damn.
off at all.
So
I'm looking
you
for intellect. I'm looking for conversation. I'm looking, what's the last book you've read? What's your total net worth? You know,
okay?
what are your interests? So my orgasms begin to come from different places, not physical.
There you go.
Yeah,
I respect that.
word.
Now, do you have a son? I mean, because we covered something. I'm not going to hold you much longer because there's some other people that want to come on, but you do have a son.
I have a
And
grandson.
oh, no sons itself. Yourself.
No,
Your
I
daughter.
have daughters. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said you didn't see the need to have a man around or their father around, even though you all were divorced?
No, not their father. I just meant, in other words, I wasn't interested in a relationship and developing marriage and,
Oh, okay.
building what do you call it? A extended family or stepdad kind of thing. If it happened, great. But at the time, I had a cleaning business. I was a real estate agent. I'm, on the PTA. Like I just didn't believe I had what I believed a true relationship needed. I didn't think I had the
Okay.
time. Yeah. And I
All right,
chose not to
cool.
take it. Yeah.
I stand corrected in my thought.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I was just real about what I wanted at the time. Now I
Right,
want a
right.
relationship and now I have time for it.
Now you got time for it.
So he
Well, I
just
mean, I
has to
think
find me. That's
if
all.
you up in age now, you might as well go ahead and ride off into the sunset, having fun. I mean, why stress yourself out with the bullshit now? We're trying to, you almost crossed the finish line. You're almost halfway there to get your
No, but
AARP
you know
card and
what? You know
your
what?
what is it, 15 or 20% off at IHOP?
No,
Shit.
I'm a good ass catch. So I feel like I'm gonna be a blessing to someone. That is what is on my heart.
There you go.
Just as
All
much as he will be a blessing to me wherever he might be.
There you go. Someone said had a guy in his bed, his camera turned around. What the hell is? I'm the comments and it's just, yeah. I hope that hadn't happened to you, but yeah. I thank you for coming on. I thank you for your time.
My pleasure, darling. Great
Good
show.
night.
Good
Yep.
night.
Thank you. Everybody has a story, man. I mean, shit, we've all mismanaged something about ourselves. And the question is, what have you mismanaged about your story? And the question is, further, are you sharing your story with those that you consider close to you or you care about? Or are you hanging on to it and you're going to take it to the grave with you if you're not found out first? I don't know what the hell that means. I guess why, well, I'm not giving people those kind of shines on here. Oh, I got a brother in the room. He said you need to put more time in your man. No disrespect, but it took me a long time to realize you can't do it by yourself. You can, but you can't. And that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Yeah. You can't do it by yourself. You need a man to help you manage that box, ladies. That doesn't mean that you have to mismanage it by overextending your lines of credit to folks to manage your box. I'm stupid, but anyway, y'all get what I mean. No, all jokes aside, though, we were not put here to be alone. The word says that no man should live by bread alone. That means women too. We're here to be together. Yeah. So Everybody has, oh, well, somebody just put up here and said, oh, I agree with him. Right on. Now someone is talking about, oh, you already know, real talk. Yeah, she right back at you, lady. Someone stating about Kevin Samuels. This is, I guess, on topic or off topic. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Kevin Samuels had a guy in his bed while telling women what to do. His camera turned around by mistake during a session. Just saying. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how there's a. Yeah, what you said. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a whole nother show. Yeah. But tonight we're talking about everyone has a story. What's your story? I can tell you some things about me, man, but I ain't. Y'all going to pay to read that shit. Now, if y'all were on the earlier part of the show and I read a few quatrains, those are things from my book. I'm sure that those that were here thought they were interesting because you decided to log back in. So yeah, it'll be up for $9.99.99. Anyway, you know, in your story, man, our birthrights are our parents, just like our kids' birthrights are us. And if we're not willing to share our mistakes in life with them, the continuum of mistakes that are unnecessary can very well set them back, as it has set us back in a lot of ways, because we are the extensions of our parents before us. And in I'll say those who are in my age brackets and a little beyond, our parents weren't real sharers about a lot of the truths that they went through. Prime example. Mothers didn't teach their daughters how to navigate men. They didn't teach them because they didn't want them doing it. Our parents were off the fucking hook. Even fathers. A lot of fathers didn't teach their daughters how to be courted because they didn't want dudes courting them, because trust me, they was some shit. By seeing those things, man, a lot of things I gave my girls, I gave them the game. And they'll tell you. Hang on, someone wrote this. Someone said, raised by a single mom, she stressed, I don't need a man. I don't need a man, but I love having my husband love me as much as I love him. Breaking that generational curse. Oh, so you're happily married. That's good. That's an awesome thing. Someone says, mine's taught me very well. Someone also said, looking within and reaching out to people you can trust is important. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's not. We get that. But what I'm saying to you is, as a measure of the people before us, we have to excel beyond the things that we saw. Times are different, but as they say, as much as things change, they stay the same. The same things are applicable now as they were 100 years ago when it came to the courtship. But the thing is, the difference is that the worries in society were different. For blacks, it was whether you were going to make it home and not be lynched from some tree with your junk cut off and stuck in your mouth, or you weren't going to be raped 40 ways from Sunday before you got home from the field or from work. Someone said she shared a lot about her life with me, and it taught me very good navigation on men. What did you learn? Because you ain't perfect. I'm sure you mismanaged that box at some point in time. We all have. The question is, did you continue? Was there a continuum? And retrospective to the show last night, the young lady was saying that, hey, I'm not counting the bodies as bodies. I'm counting the bodies as experience, which is bullshit. And I called it just for what it is. It's still a body. You can't change the fact that you receive those energies within you. You carry them on. They're ties. It doesn't change. Regardless of how much money you make or how successful you think you are, you devalue yourself by the constant extensions to those that don't mean you any well. Now, we all have had our soiled and royal oats to sow. That's some young people shit. But when you increase a certain age, let's say 30, it's time to change that shit up. And you have to do an audit of that kind of thing and see where it actually lies. You should never be driven by hurts to hurt yourself. If you're hurting that motherfucking bad, goddammit, you need to go get you some help. There are a lot of undiagnosed hurt mental patients out in this motherfucking world. And the worst thing is for you to be hurt. And someone said, I sure did mismanage it, but I also understood and I learned to accept what was and what wasn't. So cool. That's good to know you was on some Cyndi Lauper shit. You were just having fun. You knew what you were doing. But at the same time, that husband that you say loves you the way he loves you, does he know about all of your mismanagement? Have you both sat down and did a comprehensive audit of his mismanagement and your mismanagement? Can your mismanagement or his mismanagement come meet you on your doorstep? Or let's just say if you open up your closet, how many skeletons are going to fall out and meet that man? And can he bear the weight or stand the weight? And how close are those skeletons? How close are the bodies? Where the bodies buried at? How close are those bodies? Hang on. Someone said, yeah, you have to make sure it had meaning if you did it. As you get older, it needs to have meaning or just be celibate. Well, I don't know about the celibate part, but yeah, there's some decisions that need to be made when you start professing love and claiming folks and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying this from a respectable thing. You know, nobody wants to be the butt of a joke. And I'm speaking from a man's perspective, an alpha, not a simp man. Angina, not one of these is willing to go for anything and reward that goofy ass behavior. When an alpha, and I hate to use this term, a high value individual, that goes both ways, a high value woman, a high value man. When you work hard for something, you want the best of everything that you have worked hard for. So you're not willing to settle for someone who's been settling, someone who's been devaluing themselves. She said, oh, he knows my background. I've always been straightforward and was not a sugarcoater. I am who I am. But who were you? I want to know. Shit. Toys. LOL, y'all man toys suck. Laugh my ass off. Just kidding. Okay, you're just kidding. Okay. I'm just saying, man. Okay, ladies, let me give you an example. Let's just say you go to a hair salon, right? And your beautician is well known and so on and so forth, whatever, right? And your guy, he's he's not no average Joe. He's just, but it's a popular salon. You're in there on Saturday morning, and you hear conversations of this guy from other people in the salon. And they begin to give descriptions of the guy and the things that he does and how he moves, right? And I'm speaking to you, Miss Married Lady. And you and you and you and you. Now this guy, as they begin to talk and they loud talking about it, begins to come into view to you based on the description that they're giving. What he drives, what he does for a living, little simple things that might be quirks that you know about. And because this individual is talking about the quirks, they had to have actually been in intimate settings to know these quirks about your dude. How would you feel to know that he's been around the salon and everybody in the salon knows that he's been around and in that salon with a couple of different folks, and you're the last to know, but everybody know he's your husband or your man? About 30 years. Well, I'm just using that as an example. How would you feel about that? But this is kind of treachery we got. Good evening. Welcome to the show. I can see, goddamn. Look at here. Look at here. Look at here. This is what Aetna do for you, man. You got to have that insurance so you can have a couple pair of glasses laying around somewhere. So, like I said, everybody's got a story, you know. I mean, these are the things that we're encountering more. And I'm speaking more so not for us, but those that are watching, to take this on, man, to people that are seeking that inspiration and that guidance from us as elders in the gate. You know, a lot of times we do mismanage our things. We when we're young, we're expected to. It's all new. It's fresh. We're creating that thing, those memories, those things. But when we touch a certain age, we got to put childish things away.
That's true. Well, you touched on a question in regard to being the last to know that your man has been with all these women, and he was last to know.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I don't know how other women feel, but for me personally, I wouldn't care about that because you've been with him. I can't change that situation. If my man had been with all of them, I don't care if I was the last to know, first to know, or I was in between to know. Because what he's done with them is he's been with them, and he's been with me too. I mean, that's not for everybody. I don't care about stuff like that.
You are exemplary. You are exemplary, man. You are an exception to the rule.
I don't care about that because what he does with them is going to be different from what he does with me. The way he slept with them and they can sit around and talk about it, he's not going to do the same thing with me because it's what they will accept and what I will accept. They've accepted and now they're talking about it. And, you know, see, my thing is, okay, you had your fun. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody feels differently. If you got to go, because guess what? Your man can come to the barbershop and everybody talk about how he been with you.
Yeah. But that's the truth.
I mean, it could be going both ways because, again, you mismanaged your box and somebody in the barbershop didn't hit it. Somebody in that barbershop hit you.
Yeah.
So now you go to the salon and now they're talking about they've been with your man. You upset. But somebody in that same barbershop that he go to, then he probably hit you too. They probably one of the ones that you mismanaged yourself with.
So let me ask you this then. As a woman, talking to a man, you got your husband. How honest would you be about that individual in the barbershop where he goes to get his hair cut? Would it be known, or would you let him go in there and get his hair cut and let it be unbeknownst to him? And he walking in the dark. Let's say the shit was 15 years in the past. Would you still tell him or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
My husband is cool. My husband is cool with a lot of my exes. We go out together. So when they see us, what's up, man? They buy them drinks and all that.
That's what's up. You Suge Avery.
They know not to. They know not to cross.
If that's some color purple shit I ain't never seen.
Because
believe me.
the thing is that they know not to disrespect my man. They know their place. Know your place. Because what we did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, is what we did. We good. If you can't be friends with him, you can't stay friends with me. Period. We got we an investment to one another. We got 18 years in. So if they can't be cool with him, they can't be cool with me. If you can't speak to him, then don't speak to me. That's just the way it is.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't care about that because see, I would never be the butt of the joke because me with my smart ass mouth, I'm something to say. What y'all talking about, my man?
That's right.
Well, what he did with y'all is what he did with y'all. What he do with me is different because what I expect from him was not the same thing you expected with him. That's why he just did exactly what he did. He knocked you off, and that was it. You was a knockoff.
Knockoff.
Just a knockoff.
Someone
just like a knockoff.
Said, I like her. That's real life. That's all right.
Oh, but thank you, Dally. But I mean, that's the truth. That's just the way it is. It is nothing else you can do about it. But you're gonna get mad because they say, "Oh, I was with her man," and then another one say, "Oh, I was with her man, and I was with her man." Girl, son, you and 100 other people before you was probably with my man.
Yeah.
My man is of a certain age, so I know he been getting them some since he was about 14. So between 14 and 52, girl, he done probably hit a whole lot of women.
Yeah.
I don't know. They could be friends of mine. They could be family members. I don't know who he been with prior to me. You don't know. Because if he been going that long, then that's just the way it is.
Right.
How you gonna get mad?
So let me ask you.
Why you get mad about?
So let me
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this question. And I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna hold you long. Do you believe there's double standards in that sect when it comes to men and women?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, because sometimes men feel a certain kind of way, knowing that they woman been with a lot of guys. Some men, I ain't gonna say all, some men. Females, they might feel a certain way because some females can't deal with the fact that when they see their man out, they don't want to speak. You can't continue to be friends with my man. I don't care if y'all was together for 15, 20 years. You can't continue to be friends with him and you can't be cool with me.
Right.
Because in my mind, if you can't be cool with me, then you have an ulterior motive. You still have some feelings within you. And the same thing for a man. So that's why any of my exes know you cannot have no kind of nothing with me if you can't have the same thing with him. I should be able to see you and have a good time with you and laugh and joke. And he can be laughing in on the joke too because he know what the joke is about. Not thinking that he's the butt of the joke. That cuts down a lot of jealousy. That cuts down a lot of nonsense. It cuts down a lot of bull. And nobody got to be questioning anything.
Exactly.
Because everything is out in the open. But then at the same time, you can still be cool with them and still be sleeping with them. It's just as if that guy knows his place.
Hey.
Or that woman knows her place.
Say it again. And that's the
You know
deal.
what I'm saying? I can be with my man, still walking around. I can see Tony Blojo and still be sleeping with Tony Blojo, but he's still acting like he cool with my man, and the same thing with the woman.
Exactly.
Now that happens all the time with
all
females. They still be sleeping with the guy.
See that?
They still be sleeping with the guy, and they walk around and act like nothing is going on.
The irony of it is that was where I was going with my question in the double standards of things. That happens all the fucking time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when it comes to whether or not I learned navigation of men from my mother, I learned navigation of men from her. She taught me a lot when it came to that department. The things that she put in front of me, the things that she allowed me to see, allowed me to be able to navigate and not be the type of person to walk around and be a jealous person. I'm gonna let you do what you do. Have your fun, because again, what this man do with me, he's not gonna do the same thing with you, because what I require and what you accept is two different things.
Require and
with two
accept.
different people.
Say
You're not
it
gonna
again,
accept the
goddamn.
same thing. Right? You know, you're not. I'm gonna require certain things, but you're gonna accept whatever, because you accepting the fact that he's a married man at home, and then you out there with him. So you're accepting. I'm requiring him to do certain things in the house. So you're gonna pay these bills. You're gonna do what you gotta do. You're gonna take care of me. You gonna make love to me, whether you go out there and hump her, knock her off, but we making love up in here. You knocking her off. That's cool. So I require different, and you'll accept different.
Exactly.
Period. That's cut and dry. Women need to be more open and understanding, and they need to ask for what they want and be clear about it.
So let me ask
Until
you
they're
this.
clear about.
Explain the difference between an alpha and a beta to people who understand what that would mean, meaning have an alpha male in a situation like that, meaning how he could accept your past. Would it be one of those things where, okay, let me give you an example. Would your husband accept your past coming from you better than him finding it out?
Yeah, absolutely. It's better to be able to speak who you are to your spouse than somebody, because nobody is going to tell your story. It's your story to tell. It's not somebody else's. Somebody else is just giving whatever information that they want to give.
Mm-hmm.
But me telling my story and who I am will deliver a lot differently.
There you go.
So I'm going to deliver my story. I'm writing the book, okay, because it's my story. But when other people start telling your story, then he's going to take it differently. He's going to accept it differently. He's going to hear it differently.
Regardless
But when
of how
I
he feels
tell it
about
from-
it, he's going to respect you, the
regardless
fact that you told him.
Exactly. He's going to respect what I had to say, because I'm going to tell it right. And they're going to tell it the way they see it. They're going to put their own spin on it, and because they're going to tell how they look at me. Not who I am, but how they look at me. If they think of me as a slut, then they're going to tell my story like I was a slut. I'm going to tell my story like I'm having fun. I'm just chilling. I was having a good time. I was meeting guys. I was enjoying what I was doing. I was young. But they're going to say, yeah, she was sleeping with everybody.
Sure they are.
But, right, so it's my story to tell. You can't tell another person's story the way they can tell their story. That's like you writing a book and somebody put things in a book about you. Well, that's not my story. That's not the story that I gave you. You put a whole different spin on my story. I can change my story. Okay? I can change history. I can't change the past.
Exactly.
So where I was in the past is not where I'm going, because it's my story. I can change my story. It's history. You know what I'm saying? I don't look back in the past. I look at the history. Okay? Because in the past, the past taught me, but I can't change the past. But I can change history.
There you go.
And you got to be able to change history. And from our parents, our learned behaviors and all of that, that was the past of our parents, of our family. But we can't change what happened in the past, but we can change how it moves forward, which is our history, where we're going, our story, his story. That's why it's called his story. It's our story to tell. And we can change it. Because the past is going to keep following you if you keep allowing it. So that's why I am who I am.
Hey, man. You're salt of the earth, man.
That's who I am.
I thank you, sis. I thank you for your time. I thank you for coming on, man. I truly do.
All right. No problem. Love you, man.
Love
I
you,
appreciate you.
Yep, just press the
All
X
right.
at the top of the screen.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, everybody has a story once again, as I was stating, and when we talk about things at our age, it's about relations, whether it's business or personal. Um, when we're moving forward, the thing that gives us the growth is someone saying to me today, in business, when you're dealing with clients, sometimes the clients, they constantly move the bar and they have those expectations. The same thing is applicable to life and our personal life. For us to continue to have growth, you have to continue to move the bar. Okay. And that is in every aspect of our life, meaning that, okay, if you were some old fucked up rat bastard and you were taking someone on and you changed your life up, it is your responsibility, because you've been given the responsibility to have someone's heart and their mind in place to support you in the now. You should give them a prime example. Okay. When presidents change hands in the White House, they give the ball. Okay. That ball, it encloses everything that the past president has just done. Okay. And it's kind of the same thing when you're dealing with relationships. You should be able to pass the ball, give your dossier, it's like a resume, the things that have affected you in a way that it could affect your going forward, your family, the impressions of those that are in your inner circle that are supporting you. Why would you have someone out there that does not know about you and your shortcomings or the things that could potentially be a thing with you? You know what I'm saying? And it goes for men too. We was whores. Man, put that shit out there. Let your lady know. Fucking whore. You sold drugs, put that shit out there. You was a scammer, put it out there. Whatever the fuck it is, you got a past, put it out there. Let it be known to the individual that you are laying with. Don't put them in a position where they're sleeping with the enemy and they're believing something about you and it's not so. And then they find it out third hand, fourth hand later, and it becomes a thing when it doesn't have to be a thing. You've lost respect. You've lost any fabric of integrity that you had with this individual. What I do know is that for me, when a woman accepts you and she gives of herself, a black woman is always going to have that exterior. But if she sheds any light in her heart for you, motherfucker, you better step up. You better give it all to her. Don't let it meet her without you being present. That means that she should have the information before anybody else in the world comes to see her about the information that she had, or they have, that you had, because it begins to drive that wedge. And you don't want to open the door. And I'm speaking to you, brothers, because I know you're out here listening. I see you motherfuckers. Your lights is on, you sons of bitches. And I'm putting calls into you because y'all sitting back on this show, and I need y'all motherfuckers in on this conversation. You sons of bitches can go out here and fuck 10, 15, 20 and destroy this woman. But it only takes for her to go and do it once to fuck your ass up. And I'm saying this in so many ways, even when it comes to something as simple as toilet paper in your house. You wipe your ass, put it in there, or put the money on the counter so it can get in there. You hear me? Nobody asking you to be a fool and jump out the window. But goddamn it, do something and stand on it. Be consistent. Consistent gets you ladies. A lot of y'all move around settling for. If you don't have the man that you want, that's actually going to blow your back out, take out your trash, wash your car, cook your food, clean your clothes, and vice versa. You're doing the same thing. I mean, this is mutual give and take, meaning that there's no hose barred and I'm not holding nothing back. You giving him whatever he needs, whether it's the head or the dookie love. When you start sharing, you can't share things about what you've given another motherfucker and you're not giving to the one that you professing that you want to be with. You hear me? The resentment is going to cause that brother to do this, to look at the front door. He may not explore, but he's looking, because what you've also ultimately done is put him in a position to feel insecure about what he feels about you. And I'm speaking as an alpha. We don't choose to be with anything or anyone that we don't feel is the best that we have chosen. And most of the alpha males that I know, if they love you, they will take out a 6-city block radius behind you based on the word that you give them in regards to somebody fucking with you. And if you can't give them that same respect in every aspect of your relations, you don't need to be with them. The saying is, you get as good as you give. Play your role. If you're not willing to give it all to him, don't be with him. Vice versa. If you're not willing to give it all to her, don't be with her. Or let it be known you on some Cyndi Lauper shit and you just want to have fun. You adults. In that order. As Tina Low-Key Scott said, in that order. Don't play with it. Listen to me. The shit we doing, man, or people are doing out here nowadays, we too old. We too old for the games. If you're beyond 25, you're too old. It's time to grow the fuck up. Put the childish shit away. You have to look at the world we're living in now. It's not what it used to be. People are hurting. People are killing people for less. I tell you, I reported retrospectively on one of my shows an instance where an individual was willing to kill his baby's mama, the cousin, and his child for $350 of a fucking $758 stimulus check. Because of what? Because of his shortcomings or the insecurities that was placed there by the people he was dealing with. Maybe the baby mama, she was fucking around with somebody else, and hey, you ain't nothing ass nigga, you don't do nothing for your baby. You know, any of those kind of conversations put those stresses on individuals. And I'm not just saying it's just a man thing, but the duality of it is it can go the other way too. But people don't understand, when you lock it to these relationships, man, you have to go into the relationship with a clean slate, but you bring your dossier and you put it on the table. And you have to be honest about what you're willing to give to the individual that you're with. This is what I've been firm in my belief. Intimacy is 78% of the relationship or more. What you're willing to do with a motherfucker intimately lets them know how you really fuck with them. Or you gonna fuck with them the long way or the short way. Listen to me. I'm gonna say it again. How you fuck with a motherfucker intimately lets him know or her know how you truly deal with them the short way or the long way. Especially when you've expressed things that you have done intimately with others that weren't worthy of your time anyway, i.e. when you were out there sowing your oats, partying, drinking, smoking, whatever the fuck you were doing. Okay? I state this on the Cocktail and Conversations on the adult segment. We do an unadulterated thing, and it's on Spotify and Apple Music. You can go and check it out. Listen to me. You have people, and I'm saying you have people and females that were willing to do this, meet men and say, hey, look, you can't get nothing but some missionary from me. Eyes wide open, face to face. Ain't nothing else happening. But in the same breath, you're willing to tell this individual what you were willing to do for someone else and with someone else that you are not with any longer. On some drunken conversation or whatever the fuck it might be, some pillow talking too. And you talk about how he hurt you or used you, abused you. And Trust me. Males do it too. You think that's fair to the individual that you're professing that you want to be with at that point in time? Do you think they're going to respect you? Do you think they're going to reward that bad behavior? Well, let me put it this way. Any male that does after that situation, he's a simp. And you need to get the fuck away from him. Not unless you want some usury, then you go ahead and use this dumb ass up. Are y'all following me? Let me see some thumbs, goddammit, because I'm going to replace some motherfucking Garth Brooks. If you're in here, let me see a thumb. Come on now. I'm waiting. There you go. I got a thumb. There you go. Got some thumbs. Yeah, okay. So we ain't gonna listen to Garth Brooks. I'm just saying. God damn it. For all intents and purposes in this conversation, man, people, we as adults, we have to do better because we do have each and all of us who have produced offspring a legacy. Okay? We all have a legacy. How many of us want our children going through the shit that we've gone through? The hurts, the letdowns, the disappointment. Oh, that bitch, she ain't like me. She wanted that motherfucker. Or I wasn't giving her enough money. Or you know, I just wasn't doing something right. She just never told me. Come to find out, boom, or he ain't shit. He just wanted, he lied. He cheated me out of my pussy. Excuse my French, y'all. Well, we all adults in here. Those are the conversations that we have with ourselves at the end of the day. Do you want your children having those conversations? Do you want them going down the road that we have gone down, or we want to make it a road less traveled? And I'm just inciting conversation tonight. And we're in a day and age where information is traveling so fast, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And our kids are out here just being bombarded with it all. Even the dumb shit. Y'all remember the what was it? The fucking cinnamon challenge where you put the mouthful of cinnamon in your mouth and see how long you can stand there before you pass out or fall out or die or whatever. You know, people doing dumb shit, or the water challenge and dumping cold water on your head. You know, dumb shit is what I'm saying. And see, you know, you got these calls to action. Now, over the last maybe 5 or 6 years, you have these quote unquote influencers that are influencing you to become a Build-A-Bear bitch, inject your ass with this and that, and snatch your tummy with a whole bunch of neoprene, and eating fucking kiwi and wearing a Jim Chirac or whatever. You know, I'm just making up some shit. But the thing is, you know what I mean? A bunch of unhappy people. And if you really go back and look at some of these motherfuckers taking pictures in front of a mirror with a fucking bed on the ground. And it's not even a fucking bed. It's a blow up bed with the pump sitting next to it. This bitch then blew up a bed in somebody's house and taking a picture. Or the baby sitting over in the corner looking at her butt while she's showing you her butt. You know what I used to say to that girl? You've been naked for 2 years. Put your goddamn clothes on because you're still single. Something wrong with that picture. But you professing that you got this and got that and you're getting some money. And well, I want to know how you're getting money. How you getting it? Because trust me, I know you ain't chose. You ain't with no pimp because he ain't going to have you on that shit doing that. So, there. Someone said he didn't cheat you. You cheated yourself. You gave it to him. You damn right. But that goes both ways. She didn't cheat him. He gave it to her. Somebody I hold near and dear and was instrumental in me becoming who I am used to say all the time, when this was years ago. I'm talking about in the 70s. He used to say it. These fucking idiots make the price of pussy go up doing the dumb shit that they do. because only a trick pays for something that he can get for free. He's on here tonight. God damn it. I'm talking about you. Yeah. Someone said it does. Them goddamn manginas. Anyway, you know, I don't know whether y'all, have been sharing this, but I need y'all to share it. Let your folks know to log on, man. I started, I stayed on a little longer tonight because of earlier, had a few technical issues with the connection, maybe because of a storm or whatever. But yeah, we here, we rocking out, and yeah. Someone said, I just feel that there comes a time when you have to deal with the growth and the questions that comes with it, like how do you fix your broken and lost self? How do you fix yourself? Are you cool with being who you are, being in your own skin? Most people aren't. Most people are not comfortable with being in their own skin. They take the posture that they're defensive about the things that they've done. Shit, if you cool with it, yeah, I was a motherfucking whore. I did that shit, But shit, most of you can't even say you was a whore because you ain't get paid for it. You was just out here doing it, men and women. Shit. Hot mess. And on the flip side, you can say, hey, man, I didn't feel much about myself other than I was chasing a feeling. Someone said you have to face yourself to fix yourself. And that's the truth. One day at a time, and only you know if you are better. Shit. I ain't got that much goddamn time. I want to enjoy my time. So at this point in life, man, whatever ain't fixed, fuck it. It ain't going to get fixed. I just know it's fucked up, and I won't speak about the fact that it's fucked up, and hopefully somebody will benefit from it. And like most of you ugly motherfuckers, when I see you, I'm going to drink till you look better. If you were dependent and became independent, that's a change. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Just the truth. So, with that said and done, man, as time goes on, we have to look at our legacies. Think if you passed away today or tomorrow, right? And let's say just something as simple as a cell phone, right? You left your code off your phone and you're synced. Everything is synced. Would you be cool with what was found in your goddamn cell phone? Would you be cool? Would you be cool? Could somebody read your eulogy in your cell phone or the things? Matter of fact, your search engines. What would that say about you? Would it say you were some degenerate? You like porn? Somebody say, yep. You don't have a code. Fun fact, you don't have a code. Okay. I'm just saying, these are the things, man. This is like being where you say you're going to be. You got a significant other, they should know where the fuck you are. Be where you say you are. Because honestly, man, anything can happen between you and them. They would never know. Shit, you somewhere else and some shit happened to you, they would know maybe 3 or 4 days later after they finally figured out who the fuck you were. Go figure. Would you be cool with having your phone open and having someone write your eulogy based on what they found in it? These are the questions, man. Here's a greater question, or here's a greater saying. It's not what you do when you're being watched. It's what you do when you're not being watched that governs the magnitude of your integrity. So, and yeah, I would. See, one thing about me and how I moved for years is that ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there. I choose to be the best in all I can be. So whatever's there, it's supposed to be there. Can't be the fool. I can't make myself the fool, that is. So I got to be ready. Got to be prepared for anything. There it is. So let me say this, y'all. Y'all are the bomb, man. Y'all are my wet folks. And as I state all the time, anyone that comes on becomes a part of that family. That acronym is with exceptional taste. And it takes that to be a part of what we're doing and who we are here. And yeah. And all you're getting, man, get you some understanding. Because man, ain't nothing like understanding. And for all intents and purposes, man, it's time to go. And y'all need to get the fuck off my line.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you. Check it out. You're now rocking with the best.